Hi friends, Allison here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have just one page each of design and process video, scrapbook process to share with you. I am designing day 12, and the page that I am creating for the scrapbook process is actually just a fun page. It's a filler page. That's what I'm calling it, quote unquote. It is not devoted to a day. I will do that tomorrow if I have the chance, otherwise Monday. But this one is just for fun. So to design day 12, I snapped a picture of frosty trees. We had a lot of frost yesterday, and so I decided that would be my entry for day 12. And I found this snow globe that says Frosty Xmas on it, and I thought that would work perfectly. So on the facing side of the page, it's just going to be decorated and look pretty. And on the flip side of the page, I'm going to add my photo and some journaling and a little bit of embellishing. So right now, I'm just looking for images in my Cricut library that I might want to put on the front side of the page. I toyed with presents. I toyed with winter trees. You can see me looking up winter trees right now. And very lastly, I settled on bows and thought I would try that to design as well. You can see the bows there already. I thought about adding the trees behind the title, which I think would have looked nice, but I think it would have made reading the title difficult. So I set those aside and tried the bow. And I put a large one at the top of the snow globe, which immediately I fell in love with and thought that it was the perfect addition. So I went back and looked for my two snowflakes that are on all the pages in this album. I'm going to add the snowflake image on top of the bow in black, and then I add a star on top of that. I'm going to sprinkle a few other stars around the front side of this image as well, and those are just going to be white. As you know, I like changing the color of the images that I'm creating with as I'm creating, because that helps give me an idea of what colors I'm going to be using when I get to the actual creative process. You don't have to change the colors. You can leave them as is and just go with the flow when you are ready to create. I do this to take the guesswork out of my creating when I get to that point. It just makes it easier for me. So I decided that I would repeat some of the same images that are on the front side of the snow globe to the back side. So I created another bow using the duplicate button, which is in the very top right corner, and I made it smaller. So I used the little lock option to unlock it and then size it to what I would like. And then I used the duplicate function again just to create copies of some of the stars. So the circular snowflake will be where the number goes. It'll have a little phrase sticker or some sort of phrase over top of it, and that's it. Now I've moved on to the actual creative process. I decided that I was going to use the circular overlay in my album, and then I realized after I had designed this page that I actually already had it cut, and it was in my stash hiding in my scrap paper bins for another project, and this happened to be it. So I didn't actually even have to cut anything for the base of this page. I cut out the word Noel, and quite honestly, I am in love with this cut file. It's so pretty. It's very intricate. It has like a vine pattern inside each of the letters, and then it has a little snowflake that just nestles in between all of the letters. It's just perfection. I absolutely loved it. So I cut it from red cardstock and I placed it on top of the white cut file. And then I cut Christmas trees. I assembled them and put them over top. One of the littler tree is actually going to get some foam, craft foam behind it, so it stands up a little bit more. Then I decided on a whim, after I got the facing page completed, that I actually wanted to back this cut file with pattern paper. So I dove into my stash again, looking for scraps first of all. I didn't really have anything big enough. And then I went through my retired papers, which I have stored separately from the current stuff that I'm using, and pulled out a whole bunch and finally settled on, you're going to see it here in just a moment, some more light blue snowflake pattern paper, and the flip side of it is that pink and red like plaid. I know I used this pattern paper on something else in this album just recently. I can't think of what it is right now, but I have used it before, so I thought it was perfect. I was actually thinking of using my white, Close to My Heart white pattern paper with the little hearts on it, but when I found this one, I pulled it out and knew that it was going to be an immediate winner. So I couldn't decide if I wanted to use the pink side or the blue side, and ultimately I stuck with the blue side, and I am going to embellish the flip side of this page as well, which originally I wasn't going to do, but I'll show you that when I get to it. So I roughly cut the paper down to the size that the cut file is, which coincidentally happened to be roughly 6 by 8 inches. So like totally meant to be. So there's the blue side. And I pulled out a Close to My Heart sticker sheet that I had from Christmas last year. I have not used it yet until yesterday. I used it in yesterday's video, and I'm using it again today because there happens to be trees on it, which was perfect. So I'm going to pull off some of the Christmas tree stickers, or just winter tree stickers at least, and add them to my little tree cut file. I mat this one onto some extra cardstock that I had sitting on my desk so that I could move it around if I didn't like it. Then I went back to my Cricut and cut 2 more Christmas trees that, were larger than the ones on the front side of this page. I'm going to do basically the same thing. I'm just repeating the elements that were on the first page and putting them on the back side of the page. But I felt the trees were kind of floating in outer space, so I went and cut a oval frame, the scallop frame that you see behind the larger Christmas trees, layered that behind it, and that helped ground the 2 Christmas trees. I flipped back to the first side of the page because I knew that I wanted to add a little bit something else to embellish this page. And quite honestly, I'm still on the fence about what I want to do with the top portion of this page. I feel like there's too much white space and something needs to be added. I'm kind of thinking of arrows, but I'm thinking I might just leave it because I don't want to fuss too much, and I actually am scared that I'm gonna ruin it. So I'm debating over the facing page. But I decided that I would add some sort of a phrase to the facing page. So I pulled out my Heidi Swap stamp set that I got from Paper Issues last year and tried working out a stamp phrase for that side of the page, and ended up settling on a Tim Holtz phrase sticker, which was perfect. On the back side of the page, on this pink side, I decided to use the Heidi Swap stamp set. So I'm going to stamp the phrase Christmas cheer. I'm just going to use black Close to My Heart ink, and I'm just going to stamp it on some extra white cardstock that I had in my stash. So here I'm going to stamp it, and then I'm going to fussy cut the phrase out and layer it over top of the Christmas trees. I kind of toyed with putting it above the Christmas trees, where the frame peeks out, but in the end I just decided to leave it over top of the Christmas trees, and to embellish that side a little bit more, I add some stars. They will be stamped on scrap paper as well, and some will be stamped directly onto the page, and then I'll bring those to the front side of the page as well. And quite honestly, my friends, this page is complete. It was really simple. From here on out, my videos should be slightly shorter than they have been previously, just because I'm not going to be doubling up on days to try and catch up. So at least as far as the designing goes, I will be designing pages the day after the day has happened, if that makes sense. But the creating will be still a couple of days behind. So I am predicting that this album will be completed sometime in early January. I do plan on doing a flip through of the entire album once it's completed, and once I have all my pictures and the albumin page protectors that I need in my possession. So that's my plan, at least for the next month or so. In January, I do have another idea for a series relating to cricket that I would like to introduce, but I will share more information about that later in the new year. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and a like. And if you are new to my channel and have not subscribed yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also the little bell so you don't miss anything from me. Let me know what you think of this series. I'm having so much fun creating my December daily. I'm thinking of it in my mind as this is the first time I've ever done it, but that's not true. I did try it once before 2 years ago, and obviously didn't really enjoy the process because I didn't make another one until just now. So I am this time, however, really enjoying the process and really enjoying the creative aspect of this project. And I hope you feel the same way. I have close-ups that I'm sharing with you right now. And I hope to see you again on my channel here very soon. Bye guys.